Good evening. Oh, excuse me. Good morning. It's April 6th, and I want to give a warm welcome to all my followers and all my listeners and so forth. Here we are, Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And I want to uh, warmly welcome you because you're dealing with an agency that may have gone rogue or gone bad. And I like to say that there are good CPS entities as a government entity, and then there are bad ones, rogue ones that have gone really bad. I encountered one of them myself. My case was horrible. I had a layperson who were my in-laws that reported that my wife and I were doing terrible things to our children, which were far from the truth. And for 5 years, we fought them. And then come out to one time they decided to get the police involved. When the detective ordered me to come to my home and open it up. I did not know about that your constitutional right says that your home is your castle and you do not have to open it to anybody. Excuse me. There's only 3 ways that you can open your home to the police or to the social services. One way is the common way that most people make by giving permission to come in, and they think once they got permission, they can walk around and search and look for evidence of wrongdoing. Now, I had 12, 13 people in front of my house. I had 5 firemen, 3 social workers, 2 code enforcement, 2 uniformed policemen, and the detective, all determined to find something they could find with me, Bob Pace, and my family. Now, I'm a loving husband, father. I have 41 years of marriage experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. My 3 older children have children of themselves and doing very well in life. My 3 younger children were still living at home with me. This all happened in 2015. It started in 2010 when unfortunately I lost my job through no fault of my own. And I had to struggle because I had a hefty mortgage to pay. I had a beautiful home. And CPS lost my home because it forced me to get an attorney, and I needed to come up with money to hire the best attorney in the country because I wanted my children back. It was wrong. They weren't in danger when they took my children. They were in school, and school is a safe place. And they had to come up with some type of fabrication. Now, the second way they can enter your home is if there is domestic violence going on where children are being harmed. That's the second way. And then the last way is a court order warrant that specifically tells what the police or social workers can do. There are a lot of fake warrants out there. You can't trust the police and you can't trust the social workers. Not all police are bad, but there are a lot of them that are bad. You don't ever want to open your door. If you're inside, stay quiet. Too many people have been shot mercilessly. One was an airman, a black airman in Gainesville, Florida, that was shot 5 times in the chest. He died talking to his fiancée on FaceTime. It was a mistaken place. The sheriff was looking for domestic violence. He had the wrong place. Then there was a black woman in LA that was washing dishes that was shot in the face. Brutally shot in the face and killed. Then there was a Korean lady who had some mental problems, and she was killed by 2 policemen. These are 3 examples of over 100 incidents have happened around the country answering the door. It isn't safe to open a door. Also, you don't want to talk to the police or the social workers unless an attorney is present. If you're in a legal matter, it's your constitutional rights to have an attorney present through all proceedings. And I don't mean a court appointed attorney. They won't come out to your home. They won't even come to talk to you. They're so busy with 30 or more clients, they don't have time. Also, they're not trained in the area of law this is. You're in what's called juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the three laws that you need to have representation. You need an attorney that matches it. The court appointed won't. You need, one of my first rules is you need a real attorney. You need to find 3 attorneys, get quotes on all 3 of them, check them out, see if the chemistry is right between you. But you have to preliminary qualify them. You need to look up on the internet by placing your city and your state and then the letter CPS. Now, if you're from another country, you want to put your country, then CPS. But you got to understand, this is a worldwide epidemic. Not only is it in the United States, I've talked to over 21 countries that have the same problem. And I've talked to all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, the United States. So I have a lot of experience here. I have over 1,000 people that have talked to me. And I've been doing this live stream since October 2023. That's 14 months that I've been doing this. Day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. Now I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning and on Saturday at 8 a.m. in the morning. That is Pacific Standard Time, the West Coast of California. Then I'm again on at 7 o'clock at night, Monday through Sunday, all 7 days. So that's 14 live streams that I'm on here. And I try to make each one differently, and I try to talk in different format. You, the listeners in my room, are the ones that make this live stream possible by texting comments in or questions about your CPS case. When you do text a comment or a question about your CPS case, Somehow my banner got eliminated here, so I tried to put it back. Now, to text a comment, it should pertain to CPS. Please state your first name, your city, the state, and country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to where you are today. Okay, it's up on the screen. This way I can help you a lot easier if I understand your case. I also have another banner at the bottom. It's a ticket running along the bottom that we need support to our channel. Read that banner. We do need your help. No question about that. There's a lot of things that we do at the law office of Vincent W. Davis. Not only do we have great attorneys, we also have a lot of guidebooks and legal information and packages on websites. We have one website. It's called the Stan Store /attorney VWD. Now you need to put the https:// to get the grandparent guide. That's the one that is set up to help out grandparents adopt or get guardianship of their grandchildren, and other books and info by going to the https://stan STAN.store attorney VWD. Now I know it's early, it's Sunday morning, it's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, which is not too bad. But I'm open for any kind of questions or comments you want to place. Now, as I said, I have 21 countries, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to Saudi Arabia, up to Libya, over to Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to Mozambique, to Rwanda, and several provinces in South Africa. Then up to Europe, England, Scotland, Wales, Denmark, and Sweden. Over the pond in North America, 4 provinces in Canada, all 50 states in the U.S., including the District of Columbia, which is not a state. South of the border, Mexico. Then down in South America, Grenada. On the East Coast, north of Brazil, to the South Pacific, to New Zealand, and then to the land down under, Australia, 2 states there. So it's a wide range of people with CPS matters. Now, what I define CPS is the child protection systems that are found in every county and in every state and every country. It's a government entity run by social services. In 1962, Congress mandated that social services protect our children from neglect or abuse. So they created the child protection system. It has many different names in different states. That's why I don't use it. I use the child protection system. That's what I'm referring to. For example, in California, in Orange County, it's called the Child Protection Services, CPS. Then right next door in LA County, it's called Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS. In Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. Anyway, when I say CPS, I mean all the government entities. Now, not everyone is bad, but there's a lot of them that are bad. No. That's why you don't talk to social workers or police. You don't open your home. Anything you speak to them be held against you. So you don't want to talk unless you have your attorney present. And I mean a real attorney. You need to get 3 quotes, and you have 2 questions you need to ask after you look it up on the internet with the last name followed by, not the last name, the the city, followed by the state, followed by the letter CPS. If you're in a country, instead of the state, you put the country and put CPS. Then you put down the type of attorney you're looking for: a juvenile law, a family law, a dependency law attorney. And that's going to pull up a list of people that you can call. You look at the list and you want to pick 2, because I'm going to give you the 3rd person you can talk to. That's Vincent W. Davis. I know he meets all the criteria, so I saved you time. So the first 2 you call, and there's 2 important questions. Your first question is, are you a juvenile law, family law, a dependency lawyer who's fought CPS and gotten children back? If the answer is yes, you go to the second question. Have you ever fought CPS after your CPS case was closed in a civil lawsuit where you won money back from CPS? If the answer is yes, then you found yourself your first candidate. Then all you have to do is ask for 3 references, and then you need to investigate the 3 references. Then you want to set up a meeting with that attorney to further see the chemistry between you and that attorney and see if you can take the case. He or she will quote a price. It's called a retainer. Now, Vincent Davis for LA County is $5,000. His rate's $500 an hour. All you have to do is call Vincent Davis for his references, and he'll gladly give them to you. You do that with each of the 3 attorneys, and you determine which one is the best rate and also the one with the best chemistry between them, because you have to deal with this guy or girl for 2 to 3 years. And these attorneys, when you pay for them, will meet with you at their office or on Zoom or whatever. They will meet with you and discuss your case. They'll be with you every step of the way when you have your planning meeting or your meeting to determine where the kids will stay and so forth. It's a very lengthy and troubled procedure. Good morning together. And it's good to see you again. And you're from California, if I'm not mistaken. You're on me yesterday. You had some questions. Do you have a question for me this morning together? Now, another way to interact with this live stream is to be a guest. I'd love to have you as a guest. All you have to do is email our show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com with the date and time you want to be on our show. You have 14 shows to pick from: morning, evening, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. All you have to do is say, I want to be Bob Pace's Saturday morning show. Remember, on the weekends, it's 8 a.m. And I'd love to have you, because that way I could take 9 of you. You could all talk and help one another. Also, we have people that come into the room, family and friends and people that support fighting CPS. This morning we have Together in. They're from California. And they're saying that there is a YouTuber befriending people, and when he gets mad at you, he calls CPS on that person. He records a lie. Yes. That's the part called retaliation. It's illegal to retaliate against one another or use CPS. A lot of lay people will abuse the CPS system and make up stories about their family, their neighbor, their friend, whatever it may be. These are the people that can call in. And these people aren't educated, and they don't know how to really follow up with abuse or neglect. And I'm sorry, there are people like that out there. There are bad people everywhere we have in life. Very bad people. It's really tough out there. We have a country that's been battled for years by another country who doesn't care about life or people. And all they seem to do is make up lies, and they kill innocent people purposely. And I'm talking about Ukraine and Russia, and the CPS over there is horrible. Do you think the CPS is horrible in the United States? In other countries, it's really horrible. So please get that attorney because you need him. I didn't. I waited too long. I waited a year, wasted a year. Also, I set my daughter up. See, CPS is so bad that they retaliate. Our CPS worker, who wasn't educated, didn't even have a high school diploma, no experience, was our caseworker in her early 20s. And all she knew about was bonus she'd get for her eyelashes, her makeup, her accessories, her clothing, her BMW car. That's all she would talk about. And that's really hard to digest when you have an individual like that. Anyway, she was on the stand under oath, and she committed perjury because I did hire Vincent Davis about a year into my case. I was trying the public defenders and I was trying to fight them myself pro se, but I was getting nowhere. Anyway, the social worker was asked by attorney Vincent Davis, what kind of parents were my wife's sister and husband who wanted to adopt her 12-year-old daughter? And she answered they're great parents. And then he further asked, have they ever been involved with domestic violence? And they said, the social worker said, no, they're great parents. Well, then my attorney opened up a folder and asked the social worker, can you explain these reports? And so he read report after report. There's 3 reports of domestic violence at my sister's husband and her sister's house. Not only were they domestic violence, they're physical domestic violence. It's where they hurt one another. And this was going on all the time. He read report after report. The social worker was so embarrassed she left the courtroom. Not before she said she'd retaliate against us parents. She said, you're never going to see your daughter again. So she immediately told our daughter, who didn't know anything at 12, if you want to go back to your mom and dad, you need to divorce them. Emancipate, not only from your mom and dad, from your siblings, your brother, your sisters. That was 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And then the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, divorced the whole family. And then she was told to seal her birth certificate that we were the parents that biologically brought her into this world. She got a new birth certificate. The purpose was to put her foster care parents as the mother and father. It's very sickening what the social worker did. She orchestrated the name change, meaning that she eliminated her name, her full name, and her middle name was Hanalei. It's a beautiful name. So if that was enough, she sealed her birth certificate, got a new birth certificate, and got a new Social Security card so she could double dip out of my Social Security fund. Double dip. If CPS, if Social Service found out, there'd be some heads that roll. It's wrong. It's wrong. CPS is corrupt, and that is one example of many examples. There are the pink ladies in Arizona, in Prescott, Arizona, that decided to buy pink t-shirts, not because they wanted to support breast cancer awareness, because they wanted to stencil on the front in white letters, professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they put, parents, do you know where your children are at? That was the message that they were conveying in Prescott, Arizona in 2022. Now, these 8 social workers parade around Costco, Walmart, Sam's, Target, Best Buy, Sears, Penny, Makeup, all the big major stores. That message. They were caught and they were fired. Not only were they fired, the director was fired. That left one person to run the CPS in Prescott, Arizona. They are a powerful group and they think they can do anything, get away with it. You just have to be careful with them. You have to be careful with them. Now, I talked about texting me a comment or a question about being on my show as a guest. Another way that you can interact with this live stream is to call me. My phone number is up. It's 626-698-0990. And you can call me at that number, and I will answer it. I use an internet program called Vonage, but you don't have to have it. And my phone is on right now. I'm just double checking it. Now, I do have another comment from Donut Queen. All right, you must be new. I don't think I've had a Donut Queen on here. What part of the world are you from, Donut? Aren't parents putting themselves at risk of hurting their case if they go live and talk about their case? That's a good question. That's a good question, Donut Queen. But you can go live without giving your name. You can give a different, instead of the city, you give the county or vice versa. I would give the city because then they won't know what county, because there could be other counties there. But you don't have to go live or talk as a guest or phone call. That's up to you. Okay, together, I must have missed your second question. How did I miss her? I thought I talked about the people. This person also posts what they're doing and has it still today on his YouTube page, and he laughs about it. All you need to do is to contact YouTube or Facebook and register a complaint against that person. If they are making fun of you or causing harm or you feel threatened by them, make a complaint to YouTube. I think Facebook is still Carl Zettenberger, and I know that they will take down the account. They don't tolerate it. And I'm sorry if I didn't make myself clear together. You're in Southern California. That's all you have to say, don't it? There are millions of people in Southern California. And you could be in Riverside County, San Bernardino County, LA County, Orange County, San Diego County, Kern County, up in Oakland. Oh, well, that's Northern California, so we can't go there. Kern is Central California, so. But that's fine. If there's a question that you want answered, I'll try to do my best to answer it. I'll try to do my best to answer it. What do you mean use? What use? Your transcripts here on YouTube, I wouldn't use in court, no. What proves you're innocent, they need to prove. Well, the sad part about CPS is you're guilty. That's the only court of law that you're guilty. And they have so much power, they don't prove anything. They're bad, they're corrupt. That's why you need an attorney. If you know about open heart surgery, you use a doctor. You don't have a lay person to cut open the chest. You don't use a plumber or a nurse or a doctor. You use a professional. Yeah, use a doctor that's trained in there. Same thing goes true in CPS matters. The child protection system, you need that attorney because they can navigate. They know how to fight the corruptness of CPS. That is your key to getting your children back. You don't say anything unless the attorney tells you what to say. You don't meet with them unless the attorney tells you the attorney's there. You go by what the attorney tells you to do. That's how you beat CPS. I got the top attorney. I sold my house in a quick sell. I lost $1 million by doing that. But I got the money for the quick sell of my home and hired Vincent W. Davis. And he got back my 2 boys. Unfortunately, he drilled the social worker on my daughter and she took revenge. And she ended up retaliating. We certainly did not know that coming. Now, Donut Queen from Southern California has been. If the bio parents want children to stay with foster care and not go with next of kin, do they have any say in this? Well, if the bio parents don't want the children and don't want family reunification, they don't have anything to say where the children go. If the bio parents don't have and their next of kin is not going to stay with them, I mean, that's usually how it works. When children are forced to be removed from the parents because they're in danger, then every effort should be to place them with next of kin. That means grandparents, anybody over the age of 18 that has a home that can take the children in. You don't want them going to foster care. It's bad seen at foster care. It's really, really, really bad. Now, um, by just calling in and talk on the phone or be a guest that you're entitled to 15 minutes of free consultation with Mr. Davis. He'll talk to you for free for 15 minutes. All you have to do is call in to my number. Or be a guest on my live stream. Okay, that's great together. If you don't have kids, I guess your kids are grown up. I'm asking for other people. I will direct them to your channel for answers. Okay, together from California. Now, Donut says even if the bio parent doesn't like the kin and feels it's bad for them, so bad they say foster care is better. That's a tough call. Again, if you're talking for somebody else, studies have shown the best parents are the biological parents to raise kids. The best parents are the biological father and mother to raise kids. And that is important. Now, I have my number up. It's 626 698 0990. I have another number, 888 6582. That's the law office of Vincent W. Davis. You can call and speak to reception. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And let's say you want to speak to Mr. Davis. That's the number you could call to. Speak to him. Also, if you need guidebooks, they got them there. They can help you out with you. But fighting CPS is very tough and very hard to do. You have to know the law. The dependency law takes a long time for you to learn. But the biological parents won't have too much to say about whether children go into foster care or not. If the agency's bad, Donut, the agency's bad, they're going to put them in foster care, and the foster care will abuse the children. Not all foster care is safe. Not all foster care is good. You run the risk putting them with strangers. Now, if the parents are like the next of kin, you know, yeah. Well, foster care, if they're trained properly and educated, can be a good thing. There's a foster care mother that comes on here daily. Her name is Betty Joe from Montana. She's a foster care mom, and she was fighting a case about her son's child. She wanted to adopt her niece, and he was never going to make it. Had too many problems with himself. Now it's 9 o'clock, and I need to finish my live stream. I go from 8 in the morning to 9 o'clock, to 9 o'clock in the morning. So I want to thank Donut and Together for being in my room. And I'd like to see you again tonight at 7 p.m. or the next day at 10 a.m. I'm on twice a day, so please, y'all, come in. I want to thank you for listening. Do not give up fighting for your children. Don't give up. And save your questions for me, and I'll try to answer as best I can. So God bless you all. And this is Bob Pace signing off.